All right, I'm going to start off by saying I love you. I think you're awesome. I have always loved you. I think you're just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're amazing. And we met years ago briefly at a Vanity Fair party, right?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, just briefly. But I haven't seen you since then, and you've never been on the show, even though you had...
Kind of interconnected.
Yes, we have. You have a big part of Dory in Finding Dory. She hears Sigourney Weaver's voice all the time, and it's hilarious, right?
No, I love the way you say, my friend Sigourney told me to do this.
Yeah.
Hi, Sigourney, I need your help.
Won't you please join us
Oh, great.
as we explore the wonders of the Pacific Ocean and the amazing life it holds within. Witness the
Sigourney?
majesty of the balloon.
Sigourney Weaver, where are you?
Every time I was doing that in the recording studio, it was so funny. Like I said, you had such a huge impact on me in a lot of your films, but especially Gorillas in the Mist. So when I was saying Sigourney Weaver over and over again, and now I'm actually trying to build this campus in Rwanda to join the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund, which you have been a part of since you did that film, right?
I did. I just have to say at the very beginning that this gift that Ellen and the Wilderness Fund, the Wildlife Fund are giving our Diane Fossey, and Africa and Rwanda and the gorillas is going to be such a game changer. And it's just the generosity and brilliance of the gift just absolutely overwhelms me. And the way Portia came on and did it was one of the most beautiful things.
I agree. Thank you so much. I couldn't believe she remembered that. So I have been in love with animals since I was a little girl, and especially with the gorillas and really all of the animals in Africa that need protection. But specifically, Diane Fossey, for some reason, touched me. I remember reading about her in the National Geographic. Were you aware of her before they asked you to play that role?
Oh, yes. I had actually read the book. I remember thinking, this is the greatest job in the world, to go out in the field and study animals every day and live with them. And so she was a great hero to me. And I remember reading the book and thinking, well, it's too bad they can never make a movie of this, because you would never want to intrude on the gorillas in their wilderness. And so it was amazing to me that we actually made a movie of it. And we were there, and I was with her study group 5, and
yeah, I mean, I was jealous that you got to do that. I was like, what a great role, like you said. So tell me about what that was like the first day you were there, and you actually, because you can't interact with the gorillas anymore because they can get sick from us. And
exactly.
But what was that like for you the first day that you got to touch a gorilla?
Well, it was absolutely incredible. I've been taught, to stay low and to kind of go, which is a gorilla sound for saying, hi, I'm cool. How are you? Just sitting here. And you kind of pretend to eat the celery a little bit, the wild celery. You go, so you're doing that as
I do that anyway, so that's good.
And then I felt this warmth on my arm, and this little gorilla, Josie, had come up and was kind of like this. And I felt her before I saw her, and it's just, being with the gorillas was the most exciting, transcending experience I've ever had. And I always loved animals, but this is completely different, because you're sort of with your cousins. I mean, you're with your family, only they're just that much more wonderful than we are. They don't make war, they just make love and, and play and eat, and they're just beautiful. You're gonna have a wonderful
I can't wait. We're leaving, we're going in June, and we're gonna visit the site where we're gonna build the campus, and I'm gonna see the gorillas. And I mean, I'm just so jealous that I don't get to do that. Like, I don't get to hold them like you did, but it's just seeing them is gonna make me so happy.
Yeah.
Didn't you get charged by a silverback once?
I did. It's not in the movie because it was really my angle that was so exciting. I did. I was...
What did you do wrong that it charged you? Because I blame you.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. We'll never know. But the big gorilla, I stayed next to this very big silverback Ziz, who was about 450 pounds, because there was another silverback named Pablo who used to grab women by their hair and drag them down the mountain. So by staying near Ziz, the big silverback, he would keep his eye on Pablo. So I always felt very safe next to him. He's in around me all the time in the movie. One day, I came in, and it was just me and the cinematographer and the focus puller, and I went up on a little rise, and we were looking down at the gorilla group, and I noticed that Ziz was like this, looking at me. And it was unusual that I would attract any attention, unless you were a baby and wanted my food in my bag. Because usually I had babies all over me. But today I didn't, and he just kept looking at me, and he just got up, and he beat his chest, and he charged right up the hill at me, and he swatted me. And I went over, of course, because he's very powerful, and I just stayed down. And I remember thinking, I know Diana's watching over me. She wants this movie made. She's not going to let anything bad happen to me. But I could, I'm sure you've been in these situations. All I could hear was my heart beating and the blood rushing through my veins because everything is so, And then I started to crawl away through the underbrush, and I ran into this scientist, David Watts, who's sort of our liaison. And he had this huge grin on his face, and he said, well, you've just joined a very exclusive club. You've just been hit by a silverback gorilla. And I was sort of like, yes, I was.
Yeah. I can't imagine having, basically you're telling me if I want them to, I just do the, and then pretend to eat something.
The wild celery, these
Yep.
big, long strings
Right,
of it.
and do that, and then that's it.
Yeah, and you will be more comfortable. I mean, you get the smell of the place, and
Do they smell? What do they smell
they
like?
smell so good. They just smell, they really do. Well, it's a great earthy,
I question your sense of smell. All right.
we'll have to talk about this after you go.
All right.